hope that is coming through live and direct. Happy Sunday to you all, wherever you may be in the world. I am going to get things started here. Just want to make sure that this will work okay in full screen. I suspect it is. As you can see, we have Figmin XR up here. I just want to make sure that I am running like I just said. So maybe double check. And while we're doing that, what I'm going to do is bring up exactly what I'll be working on today. So this is buried within my scenes. It is the second one here. It's a little bit messy at the moment, but it is something I'm doing in service to a greater project around habitat restoration, and just thinking about those type of things, thinking about how we are treating the earth, especially in times, well, at all times really, but especially in times where it's very obvious that we're affected by things like climate crises. Sorry, I'm just moving the center around so I feel that everything is in a good spot. As you can see, you can already see my little, I don't think it's there we go. Move this over a little bit more. Is that better? I feel like that's a little bit better. What the? Yeah, that's not so bad. Okay. Gonna move this over here. Gonna move this over here. We have the plant that I'm working on here. And yes, sir. Cool. So we're going to continue working on this specific piece. But before I do that, let's talk a little bit more about what I'm thinking on. And also, look up. I want to see if we are running okay on the Twitch. Awesome. Okay. Great. Yeah, looks like we're running just fine. Yes, again, happy Sunday. Hope you're all well. Here's my nice little Figmin-based round table here. Briefly, we'll talk about why I'm doing this. Coming into this residency, I was thinking about, selfishly, what are the things I love making? But selflessly, what are the sort of things that I want to kind of unpack while I do that? And one of the big things is just wildlife conservation, habitat restoration, all those good things in life. Conservation, restoration, rewilding, all these words we use so casually, it seems, but are very important. And I was reading excerpts from this book here, Nature's Best Hope, and I thought, there's an interesting term that this author uses, Douglas Tallamy, around a national park, but a national park in the context of our gardens, the spaces around us, to not basically separate church and state when it comes to nature, and maybe that's not a good analogy, church and state, but basically the way we separate nature from urban settings, we should really be looking at them as one holistic framework. And I love that. So thinking about, what are the kind of plants that you plant in any kind of size backyard you have, or any kind of lot. In this case, this could even be plotted. So this is called, these specific plants are the nasturtiums, and I actually think it's a very good plant to grow, at least in the climate that we're in the Bay Area. So it's annual full centimeter shade, blooms late spring to frost, 10 to 12 inches tall. That's kind of the perfect size there. And so what I'm going to do today is sort of mock up what a AR experience might feel like with planting seeds like this. You know, there's even specific notes about seed spacing, 8 to 12 inches apart, how deep, seed depth. But what really stood out to me was that this is very much a pollinator-friendly plant, specifically to hummingbirds, which is why we have this little beauty right here. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to build that up a little bit more. So you'll see this in its younger form as it's blooming. It'll all make sense as I start to put it together, hopefully. But yeah, Nature's Best Hope, Homegrown National Park. That is what it was. To me, this last paragraph is great actually. To me, one of the biggest benefits of Homegrown National Park is providing our future Earth stewards with the convenient option of entering the natural world 365 days of the year right at home. The simple, undramatic, and commonplace encounters with the plants and animals in our yards will convey the sense of responsibility we all must have towards protecting and nurturing them. In short, Homegrown National Park will teach us and our children to value the natural world rather than destroy it. A good thesis statement, and it could be. So, let's keep on going. I am going to move this in a little bit more. I just realized that I can't get the Quest Pro mic to work very well. So, that does mean I need to be a little bit closer. So let's push this a little bit closer. Right to the, like that the center of this is right in my trash. Okay, there we go. The work isn't trash, but the position of where it is in the trash. Here we go. So let's continue to sketch this scene out. And I think where I'll start, maybe we'll move our hummingbird out of the way first off. Make sure a little hummingbird has a little home here. Let's declutter our space just a little bit. So I'm going to make sure. By the way, so the way I brought these photos in was great. The Figmin team was advising me the way to do this is just to use your import web links if you have a Figmin dashboard. That way you can bring in things as references, which was very helpful for me out in the wild. I was painting in the open yesterday in between the rainy periods that we're having. You know what, we don't need music right now because I want to just be able to talk to you all and enjoy your company. But I will have the Twitch open just in case you have any questions. Where are you? Okay, there we go. Good. All right. So let's get back to it. Grab this scene here. We have our hummingbird. I want to continue work on this sketch. What I'm going to do is take parts of this, and repurpose it for an earlier version, if that makes any sense. So maybe I will do 3 to 4, it's like a time lapse. As it's growing, I'll paint those pieces out. So let's say maybe it's a couple weeks in, right? So this was fun. This was this little part here was the grassiness was possible with the petal brush and oops, petal brush, and I used a mirror, but not just any mirror, a four-way mirror. Let's grab that real quick here. And oh, by the way, I was painting a butterfly the other day with a friend in tow. That was really fun. And that butterfly will probably show up in a different diorama. Specifically, that'll be milkweed. Milkweed plants are the one plant that a monarch butterfly will, or specifically caterpillars, will actually eat off of. In fact, I don't want to make sure these things are also kind of organized in their own place. Let's remove that, and we'll go back to that. Kind of getting a lot more used to the yeah, gotta get everything. And I've been playing with physics a little bit more, especially with things like butterflies. I probably will do so with the hummingbird too. Let's bring them over. They're going to keep us company while we build this out. Also, I have this ruler out here too because I think I'm going to make, let's start consolidating everything. So between this birdie, right, you can kind of see it in the tables on the way. Between this birdie and this little Mandalorian bobblehead, it's exactly 1 foot, and that's probably about how far you want to plant these seeds. And so I'm going to actually use that as a real mixed reality marker for myself, which is fun. Let me just make sure we're all good here. Yep, still going. So you can kind of see what I'm already doing already from here to here. Eventually, time lapse across maybe the gap should be at least 2 more. So let's say I do another one. Oops. Let's go back to mirror. Get another mirror here. Yep. It's starting to grow out a little bit more. Like so. And then one more patch that's just slightly more grown. And voila, you have grass. It's really cool. It's fun to watch time lapses of plants, by the way. Which is partially the reason why I'm doing this, because yes, of course there's the novelty of having, these plants look like they're growing in front of you, an AR, mixed reality, whatever you want to call it. But I think part of the thing too is realizing how myopic we are as human beings, and sometimes we don't really acknowledge something as truly living and thriving, and especially under whether or not it's Mother Nature or our own human stewardship. I think we lack those empathy muscles, I guess is what I'm saying. We could use a lot more of that. Oh, that is not the right brush. Let's try that again. So maybe there could be a little one coming off here. Just a wee little guy. So it's great to use cloning there, so that way I can have vary the size, vary the rotation, so it feels like it's spindling up into existence. Cool. So for this one, maybe I'm starting to get some initial bulbs in there. It's a very pretty plant, by the way. Can't wait for it to actually, hopefully, bloom in our own yard. We have a very small bed too, so it's not like I'm talking about something giant. And so that's kind of what I like about the way this homegrown national park is put forth. I mean, it really does come down to a collective sense of imagination, sense of, so actually I should be looking at those. That actually is even better because those are bulbs right there. What I'm going to do is grab this one. It's slightly smaller. That. I really like these leaves too. That's been fun to make. And then maybe a few of those shoots. So. Yeah. How about that? Then we'll make one smaller one below it. Like so. Maybe slightly different colors. It said it comes in 3 different colors. Where's the package? Yeah, Fiesta Blend is a spicy feast of color with flowers in orange, yellow, and orange peach. Bi-colors, no less. Very cool. Oops, dropping controllers. Oh god. Alright. And I should save this very soon. I know that. I know that more than anybody else. We should be saving. Bi-colors. Good times. Okay. So we're going to do one more. Oh, this one is missing. There we go. Should mirror a little what you're seeing on this side. Yeah. So now I can bring a few of these elements back over. Maybe this goes here. Slightly smaller. Yeah, when you see these in time lapse, what's so great is that they really do feel very, very alive as they're like fluttering in the wind and climbing up vines and bark and all manner of flora and fauna. I just don't get to paint flowers enough. That's what it really comes down to. It's the other piece I'm looking for here. Maybe you can start painting this one kind of coming out to play just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just playing a little bit of peekaboo here. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a lot of smoke right there. Let's bring that down. Cool. Oops, wrong way. Let's forget the direction of that. Yeah. Nope. Yeah. And of course, I'm adding my own little, magical realism with like the smoke particles and dots. But again, enticing the senses. Something I always like to say is like, how do you weaponize awe for good? That's kind of my own mantras to myself. Oh, what is this doing here? Sorry. There we go. Take a little bit of a 360 view here. Make sure things feel a bit lined up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start separating these via, where are we size-wise? That's okay. This is human person. So we're going to start separating these out in space. And one way we're going to do that, we're going to do the line here, and I may even just use the dotted line in this case. Let's use that. See, so I can literally just track how long a flight is in real life, which is so fun. Let me see if there's a better... Actually, maybe streamers would work a little bit nicer for this. Just so there's a very clear direction as to where things are moving. So let's do that. Excuse me, Mr. Bird. Right? So we have that point in time, and then we can set down. Another thing I was thinking about was using the line again, but a sphere for where you would plant a seed. The question is, which sphere would I use? No, not that one. Hypercolor is a little intense. Comet? Comet is also very intense. What if I bring it down? I do like it though. It is a really cool. Yeah, like it's very obvious where you would start planting seeds. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. So this can probably exist on two different levels. It's probably going to be that. Whoops. Grab the scene anymore. Okay, where are you? It's going to be this, right, as sort of the starting point of where things begin in terms of where to drop your seeds. And the seeds are really cool looking, by the way. I should show you. very lily-put size. Like really, I don't know how if you can see that pretty well in the pass through. It's probably not very easy to see at all. But yeah, they're like little rolled up hedgehogs to me. That's what they look like. So maybe I'll reflect that here. So then I might paint that the same color, or no, actually green. Let's do that. Plant here, water here. So that's about 1 inch down. Actually, that's where I can do the measurements. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. Mm-hmm. So let's go all the way across. Boom. So that way there are four holes set up. Oops, actually, let's do this the right way. So roughly, what, 4 feet, which is exactly this, the length end to end of this desk, so that's great. Talking roughly 4 feet, and I can lay that in the soil later. And let's do the seeds super quick. Also, let me save. Oh, the camera's way off. There we go. Cool. Easy peasy. Seeds. Let's make that an off brown as it looks to me, at least. Yeah, it's kind of an off, yeah, like right around there. And then let me see if I can find, I'm going to use the circle. No, actually I want to use the sphere, but not with that one. I wonder how it would do with the disco brush. Let's look. Because I kind of like that it's, it does almost look like this looks like a low poly version of it. But let me take that. Oops. So you can plant, what did it say? You can plant a group of 3 seeds every 8 to 12 inches. So that's what we'll do. Whoops. Oh, that's weird. Why will it not let me copy them right now? It's very odd. I can save it though. Well, I'll do that. That's one way to do this. Load. Oh, now you want to, very strange, now you want to clone. Okay. Oh, let's do this. Let's make life easier for ourselves, shall we? there we have it. Let's also start bringing other things into here. Like I want to start bringing in, let's say gifts, for instance, arrows. This one's pretty fun. Let's try that. Okay, just gotta do another one of that. Guess I can't. For some reason I can't even can't duplicate those as easy. It's just as easy for me to do this. That's fine. So there we have it. Beginnings of the diorama. And I think there could be a mid-state where, I could do like watering and things like that, but I may not even bother for right now. The other thing I can do, let me see. Oh, hello. Got some text. 12. Wait a second. Where are you? Oh, I don't think I got the right number in there. There. Maybe make it even more obvious. Plant. 12 inches. Swear I can spell. There we go. Is it showing up? It's not showing up. There we go. Part. Apart. Great. Hologram. Let me see what that looks like. Cool. Metallic. Also cool. But I like the hologram. Let's go with that. Anything that kind of brings it to life more. Because what I'm thinking about is, especially with CES this week and all the news about different headsets and AR glasses, I'm just thinking smaller form factor, more budget-friendly, things like that, although nothing seems budget-friendly these days. So this is what my thoughts are for the future, essentially, of like, when we do get to the point where things are so ubiquitous with AR that, I personally don't want to see it go down this very commercial route of like, you're inundated with all manner of, our privacy and our data is already lost as it is, but what can we reclaim that's good, I guess is what I'm saying. Okay, here we go. Back to sketching the scene. I think we're in a pretty good place though, so let's make sure our hummingbird is kind of sitting out here. I'm also going to start grabbing these pieces and making sure they are one thing I don't want in there is that. And then now I can group. And we are good. And we are good. So eventually, when I do set this outside, everything will be ready to go. In fact, I don't know if I saved this one yet. I may not have. So they'll be set roughly where I will. Oh, looks like I forgot a piece there. What was that? Put you over here for now. Whoops. Okay. What else did I need to do here? Oh, we are getting rid of you. Cool. See, now's the time when I start seeing little things I wanna fix. This also needs a little bit more love too. Let's add one more of these here. And also one of these. Wish I could squash and squeeze these little balls. That would be fun to do for just variety's sake. So, interesting thing about monarch butterflies, I was, because I did want to actually, let me make this one piece as well. I did actually want to feature monarch as my first little diorama, but I learned that monarchs should not, their migration should not be disrupted if it's too close to the coast. So that was really educational for me. So if you plant milkweed any closer than 10 miles off the coast, at least on the west coast here, it's probably not great for them. And as you know, they have a very long migration pattern that stretches, all the way down to Mexico even. So it's important that we kind of keep those things in mind. Again, more empathy, right? So, okay, so we're starting from there, and that's kind of where, I think this is kind of where I'm going to end things for now, because I feel like I'm giving you a good sense of where I'm going with these things. Plant 12 inches apart. Let me see if there's any glass napkins. Oh, also, an inch down. Inch deep, right? Is that what it says? Half inch to an inch deep. Seed depth. So maybe we can also do that. Oops, one too many dots. It almost comes out to 12 here, but it isn't. I should have figured that out earlier. Okay, so let's do another piece of text. What did we say? Half inch to 1 inch, right? So, yeah. 1 dash 2 depth. Voila. Make it slightly smaller. We're going to also, for consistency's sake, put it in hologram material. So there we go. I think we're good. I think we're good for now. The next time you see this, it will most likely be in a state where, unlock this for a second, where we can bring all our characters together in the real world, i.e., the front of my house. So there you have it. We have our seeds. We have a little kind of, very rudimentary style infographic, and then the final piece of seeing the time lapse across a whole season. Because I think it takes less than a season for this to grow, to bear itself, to manifest. So there we have it. Hope you all have a great day ahead. I'm really enjoying myself in this residency, and I hope you're enjoying the journey alongside me. If you have any suggestions for other things I could, sort of do in this context, I'd be very open to them because, purpose is everything in life, honestly. Yeah, let's bring the hummingbird over a little bit closer so you get one last look. Hi. Just so you know, the brushes I used on this little one here are bristle brush, hypercolor, the feather brush, which is, the feather brush, a little bit of hull inside, because I always like to use a hull brush after I've gone through with a template, like, a skeleton shape that I eventually get rid of. But the hull gives it form, and, that way you have less holes popping through. Eyes were made with both the dots and I think also a little bit of hull, and the beak itself was with a petal brush. So that's just my little cocktail for how to make a hummingbird. But I had a lot of fun painting this with a friend yesterday inside of a makeshift boat outside a cafe. So there you have it. We'll be seeing more of this little hummingbird soon. In the meantime, again, I will say happy Sunday to you all. I will see you all again soon. Take care. Bye.